As organized labor strike takes full effect, the impact in the southwest begins in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos. In Alausa, the seat of power where most state government offices are located, workers are locked out and business activities grounded. The roads are less busy for a Monday morning in Nigeria's commercial nerve center. The chairman, Nigeria Labour Congress, Lagos State Chapter, Fumisesi, says the union is out to ensure compliance to the directive issued by the executives.
As you can see, we've locked the gates for people, staff that are under level 14. The 14 and above are in there working. But we know that if you allow everybody in, there won't be any effect. So anybody below level 14 should go home. That's what we have done.
In neighboring Ogun State, the Federal Secretariat at Abeokuta in the capital is under lock and key as workers stayed away from their offices in compliance with directives of the national leaderships of both the NLC and TUC. Labour also made good its promise in Oyo State as many public school students in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, were turned back by their teachers in the early hours of the day. Banks and other financial institutions were seen running skeletal services as their gates remained closed to usual businesses. The government secretariat at Agodi also showed a very low turnout of workers as most of those present are senior civil servants. Still in the southwest, Ondo State is not left out as organized labor officials gather at the NLC secretariat for a brief meeting. The chairman of NLC and TUC in the state, in a chat with Channels Television, expressed confidence in the level of compliance in the state.
Have you ever seen in our House of Rep or House of Senate when they just raise up and sponsor a bill on behalf of workers? They will not, and they know we are the engine room for the money they were spending, but they will never sponsor any bill on our behalf.
The labor union leaders later embarked on a monitoring and enforcement exercise to ensure compliance. From the southwest to Ebonyi State in the southeast, in Abakaliki, the state capital. Economic activities are at a halt as banks are under lock and key. Some residents asked Nigerians to exercise patience with organized labor, noting this is a worthy sacrifice, while calling on the federal government to come to terms with organized labor and resolve the issues surrounding the proposed minimum wage. NLC officials also locked out civil servants at the state secretariat in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Edo State, South Nigeria is the next stop, as members of the NLC and TUC locked up the state secretariat, shutting out civil servants from the complex in compliance with the union's directive. The unions say even though the state government recently increased the state's minimum wage to 70,000 naira, they had to comply with the national body's directive, maintaining that the strike is not targeted at the state.
Well, the strike is not against the government, it's a national directive, and we are duty bound to comply.
Calabar, the Cross River State capital, is not left out. Fuel stations, schools and banks across the metropolis are shut in compliance with the exercise. The impact of the strike is also felt in River State as organized labor is taking extra steps to ensure compliance. At the Niger Delta Development Commission's headquarters, labor met some staff on ground and ordered all non-essential staff to evacuate the premises. Arriving the SPDC industrial area, they opposed strongly the partial compliance, insisting that the labor strike includes the management. An official of Pengerson reiterated labor's stance.
Let's speak today. No, we need to talk to somebody. The awareness must be there. No, you enter and follow them. We need to talk to somebody. Take him to whoever that is in charge.
As the strike halts activities across the country, many Nigerians expect that organized labor and the federal government will once again find the common ground at the negotiation table to resolve the minimum wage impasse once and for all.